The House of Representatives passed a major anti-Semitism bill on Wednesday, which would crack down on anti-Semitism on college campuses as protests rage nationwide. So you're now not saying that this is going to be for everybody. This is just through the Department of Education. Legislation was opposed by 21 Republicans and 70 Democrats. The legislation seeks to make the Department of Education adopt the International Holocaust Remembrance Alliance's definition of anti-Semitism when enforcing the 1964 Civil Rights Act on college campuses. Now, I had to look it up. What is the International Holocaust Remembrance Alliance's definition of anti-Semitism? Well, they define anti-Semitism as, and I'm quoting, a certain perception of Jews, which may be expressed as hatred towards Jews. It also defines it as a heretical and physical manifestation of anti-Semitism and directed towards Jewish or non-Jewish individuals and or their property, towards the Jewish community, institutions, and religious facilities. Examples of anti-Semitism include calling for the harming of the Jewish people in the name of racial or extremist view of religion, and accusing Jewish people of inventing and or exaggerating the Holocaust. The Combat Anti-Semitism movement hailed the passage as a momentous achievement, but said work remains to be done to get it through the Senate and President Joe Biden's desk. While we celebrate this milestone, our work is far from over. We now need to urgently call upon Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer to prioritize the Anti-Semitism Awareness Act. Okay, so there are the 20 Republicans in the House that stood up. Florida Representative Matt Gaetz opposed the bill. He said, this is a hate speech bill. Anti-Semitism is wrong, but the legislation is written without regard for the Constitution, common sense, or even common understanding of the meaning of the words. If this bill would pass, the gospel itself would meet the definition of anti-Semitism under the terms of this bill. Democratic lawmakers, including House Minority Leader Hakeem Jeffries, has also called for the passage of the bill. The Countering Anti-Terrorism Act, or Anti-Semitism Act. The bill would combat anti-Semitism through the appointment of a new presidential advisor that would be charged with implementing the White House's coordinated strategy in dealing with anti-Semitism. What could possibly go wrong here? The effort to crush anti-Semitism and hatred in any form is not a Democratic or Republican issue. It's an American issue that must be addressed in a bipartisan manner with a fierce urgency of now. Because after all, gang, say it with me, we've got to do something. Okay. You know, when I hear people say, the Jews killed Jesus, or those dirty Jews run the world, or those Jews are responsible for everything bad, or you're just saying things because you have a Zionist master, I think to myself, you're a bloody idiot. You have no clue as to what is really happening in the world. You have no clue. Are there some Jewish people that are very successful and top of corporations or top of whatever? Yeah, there are. Are there very successful Jews that happen to be bankers? Yeah. But you know what? There's also very successful bankers that are Catholics and Mormons and Lutherans and Methodists and, dare I say it, atheists. Yeah, but it's the Jews that are the problem. You're an idiot. You shouldn't run around saying these things. But I kind of actually like it when you do, because I know exactly who you are. Oh, here's a guy who is so stupid he can't tie his own shoes, or he's just a massive racist. Kids, stay away from him. You shouldn't run around saying because it's false, it's rude, it's stupid, all of the above. And we're trying to create a society here. The proper response to this act is to not post memes of long-nosed Jews wrapping their tentacles around a U.S. flag. It doesn't mean you're right about how the Jews are or vindicated for noticing that Zionists are the reason for everything is bad that has ever happened. You can say those things. You can say those things because our Constitution guarantees it. You know how I feel about anti-Semitism. You know how I feel about the Holocaust and the return of the Holocaust. I've been warning about it. I've been trying to prepare you for this time. I've prepared my family for this time. Hard choices are going to come soon. They already are. This one doesn't seem hard. What have I always said? The Constitution must rule. The Constitution must be our set of principles that we do not violate, no matter if it cuts your way or against you. This act, you would think that someone like me that is very supportive of the Jews in Israel would be all for. I am dead set against this. And you should be too. Something can be legally permissible and morally repulsive at the same time. Speech needs to be protected, not the stuff we all agree on, but the stuff we don't agree on. The only speech that needs protection is the speech that a lot of people, the majority, find absolutely abhorrent. Congress doesn't understand. You cannot legislate hatred away. You can't pass a bill. You know what happens? All you do is you create speakeasies of hate. They go into the closet. They go into another room where they can't be heard. And it just becomes a festering pool of hate that at some point will break out. The only one that can remove hatred from hearts is God. We can do our part. Does that mean that jerk protesters can prevent Jewish students from entering their own classroom? No, that's not speech. In the public square, and I mean that electronically as well, those who are standing up and quite honestly spreading the lies about the Palestinians and Hamas and saying, no, they're not. They're good. They're great. There's not a problem there. As much as it kills me to say it, I stand with them on freedom of speech only. The people who voted for this bill, I'm sure it was well intended. But they're misguided by human nature itself. Governments cannot fix human hearts. They should all be sent back to some remedial class on the principles of the Constitution of America. The importance of freedom of speech. The importance of not rushing in to do something because it's scary right now. No. Why is it this Congress can only pass the things that seemingly only hurt the strength of America and only cut across the Constitution? You just took away our Fourth Amendment right for warrants. You just took that away. You're now just passed another bill that is bringing people who have escaped Gaza and are Palestinians. Remember, 97% of them in the latest poll hate America. about 70% of them were all for Hamas, in the 80 percentile range of supporting October 7th. Congress, you just passed a bill that are bringing those people in to America and settling them here in America. What the hell is wrong with you? You live in the upside down world. I don't. I still live in the world where where America is all about protected rights. It's a dark day when only 20 people in Congress that are Republican will stand up against this bill. It is a dark, dark day.